Man, I'm just sick of these shark movies.
Out of the water! Get out of the water!
Oh dear.
Just some scary movie.
Get inside! Get inside! Get inside!
Believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you strange.
See people. They don't know they're dead.
Family's all that we got. Everything I would do,
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new review. Today we are going to be reviewing The Devil's Mouth. This is directed by Jeff Waldau, and the film follows 5 friends in Thailand who decide to go and journey through the Devil's Mouth when they get trapped in the caves with a bull shark running loose, and they have to try and survive and make it out before it is too late. So, is this another horrible shark movie that we get? We get 5 of them every year, and 4 of them are always terrible? Or is this actually a good shark movie and worth checking out? Let's find out and jump into this review. Let's go. Please let me know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Did you love it? Please let me know what your thoughts are on The Devil's Mouth in the comments. Also, all the reviews I do are spoilers. So if you're not okay with spoilers, go watch the movie, then come back and watch this video. Also, I have a lot of content on my channel. Check those out once this video is done. Okay, Devil's Mouth. This was a movie I was very interested in. By the way, before I keep talking, this movie's on Prime Video, so if you don't care if I tell you it's good or bad or whatever, still go. If you don't care, then it's on Prime Video. It's not in theaters. It's on Prime Video, so you can just check it out at home. Just wanted to mention that. But Devil's Mouth. This was a movie, again, I was very interested in. It's got Catherine Newton in it, an actress that I am growing to love. I mean, she's one of the modern day scream queens. She was in everything. She was just in Ready or Not 2, and I loved her in that movie. You know, she's in Abigail. She's in a lot of other stuff. Freaky. You know, those are some horror movies I actually haven't seen yet. But anyway, so she's the new modern day scream queen. And, you got Catherine Newton in a Prime Video shark movie. That is going to interest me. Also, the premise, it's my type of premise. One of my favorite premises is just a group of teenagers, college kids, whatever, young adults, and they go to party somewhere, and then something bad happens. Sometimes it's a shark movie. Sometimes it's just a disaster thing, or an animal, or a slasher, whatever. That premise always interests me, and I'm always going to put that on my calendar whenever there's a movie with a budget with that premise, and I'll check it out. And so, yeah, I put this movie on my calendar, on my radar, and I checked it out. Anyway, so that premise definitely intrigued me there. It's directed by Jeff Waldau. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. Waldo. I don't know. It's not Waldo. It's Wadlow. Now, this guy has he has a very interesting filmography. Movies that you might not be familiar with. So, he's directed a lot of Blumhouse disaster films like Forgotten Island, Imaginary, Truth or Dare. All movies I actually haven't seen, and I probably never will, because I've heard those are some of the worst horror movies ever made. So I have absolutely zero interest in checking those things out because they all sound terrible, they look terrible. Let's not even finish talking about them. Okay. He also directed Never Back Down, which I actually tried, I'm going to be completely honest here. I actually tried watching that movie a few weeks ago, I think. And yeah, I tried watching this movie. I got 20 minutes into it, and it was so bad I had to turn it off. I'm sorry. I couldn't finish it. It was atrocious, so I hated that film. So, yeah. Now, the only movie that I've seen that I actually liked of his is Cry Wolf. He directed Cry Wolf. That was his directorial debut. That is a movie that doesn't get talked about enough, and I don't love it or anything, but I actually enjoy that movie. I think it's a lot of fun. It's got a good cast and all that. So if you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard about it, please go check it out. It's a fun, PG-13 slasher film that, it's actually kind of a unique, and it does some really cool things that you're not expecting. It has some good twists and turns in there. So anyway, go check that movie out if you haven't seen it, because I really enjoy it. Yeah, let's just dive into the positives of this thing. So when it comes to The Devil's Mouth, my first positive is going to be, I think this is a well-shot movie. There's some good shots here. I think it's well edited. All of that technical stuff is good. I like the location of this movie, The Devil's Mouth. That sounds like awesome. And you've got these like teeth marks and all that actually looks like a devil mouth or whatever you want to call it. That's a really cool location to have your shark movie. And I enjoyed that. There's also some good tension sequences. There's like some good like earlier on in the film, like there's this jellyfish sequence where Catherine Newton's character gets like left behind and all her friends just leave her on the yacht and a bunch of jellyfish are in the water and she gets like stung and stuff. That was actually a pretty good sequence. I really enjoyed that. There's also a sequence where they're on the beach and they discover a pretty much half-eaten or like this tortoise's shoulders like ripped off or something like that. That was really cool and it looked awesome. So anyway, and there's one sequence where this guy gets like the shark grabs him and the shark runs into all these like big rocks and all that. So the guy is just like smacking his head on all of these sharp rocks and all that. Like that was a really freaking good sequence that I really enjoyed. So yeah, you put that on there. And my final positive, Catherine Newton's awesome in this movie, man. I mean, again, I love her. She's so good in this movie. She's like our final girl. And there's one ridiculous scene in the third act where the bull shark like jumps out of the water to try and get her. You know, that sequence was just straight up stupid. But still, I think she's awesome in this movie. And I think she delivers a good performance. I do like her character. So yeah. But anyway, that's all my positives. Let's head to the negatives. Now, personally speaking, I have a lot of issues with this movie. First off, this is a very generic movie. This is your straightforward, like, young adult shark movie. That's literally what it is. It's PG-13. Like, as the premise suggests, that's what you're going to get. If you just walk in, expecting a generic shark movie, a bunch of these young adults or whatever get eaten by sharks, there you go. That's your movie. That is your movie right there. And that's exactly 100% what you get here. So yeah, that's not a huge issue with me. Sometimes, you can enjoy generic movies, but, it's very, very generic. I'll just warn you right there. Another big issue, man, and my gosh, the CGI in this movie is not good, bro. There's some really bad CGI blood in this movie that you see in the water that looks, gosh, awful. You've also got this, you got the shark. There's one bull shark in this movie, just one shark. And the way it's utilized is just terrible, man. I am so sick of these shark movies, where there's just a shark there. There's pretty much no explanation of why the shark is there. I mean, other than the Devil's Mouth caves connect to the ocean. There's this one passage. So the shark just randomly decided, I'm going to go in here. And also, by the way, the shark was following the characters for like 20 minutes in the movie when they're actually in the Devil's Mouth, walking through the cave. And the shark doesn't attack them for like 20 minutes of the movie, but he's still like under the water, following them and literally below them, and it doesn't attack. Really doesn't make sense at all why that was happening and what's going on there. And what makes other shark movies so good, like Jaws, is what's so scary is like there's this shark that's just delusional. This shark that we actually don't really get explained what the hell is wrong with him, and the shark is just eating people and stuff, and it keeps coming back. Here, there's just no reason, and I'm so sick of it. Just random bull shark that's just there. And even Dangerous Animals, which came out last year. The sharks are utilized in such a just realistic way, where you just, the Jai Courtney just like stabs somebody, and then the person's bleeding, he puts him in the water, and then the shark's eating him because he's bleeding. That makes sense. And here, it just makes absolutely no sense. And also, the CGI for the shark is just not good. So, anyway, moving on, the characters in this movie, other than Catherine Newton's character, they all stink. They're awful, all right? You have a couple of generic guys. You have, like, the one buff guy or whatever, the Jack guy, who all the girls like, whatever. You've got the hot chick or whatever you want to call her, Adrian, I think that's her name. You got those characters, they're fine, whatever. They're just there to get eaten. We don't care about them. But there's two characters in this movie that really piss me off. So the first one is Greg. Now, he didn't really piss me off, but, like, what the heck was going on with his character? You know, he's like the new guy in the group or whatever. And, you know, he's kind of like just like a jerk. He's like, you know, you can just tell he's going to be like the first guy to die. And he pretty much is. Like after, there's like one guy that dies before him or whatever. But anyway, so you've got him, and, you know, he acts like just this cool jerk or whatever. He's too cool for school for, like, a while in the movie. And then all of a sudden, his girlfriend gets cut with a rock, and he just turns into, like, the biggest wuss you've ever seen. He, like, starts acting like, oh, it's blood, I can't do blood. And she's barely bleeding. She got a couple scratches on her leg. She's bleeding just, like, a little bit, and he's, like, freaking the frick out. Like, that is the most insane thing ever. And apparently he had this traumatic incident where, like, his friend, like, put ketchup on himself or whatever and pretended it was a bike accident or something, and that traumatized him. Like, that doesn't make sense at all. And later on in the movie, his girlfriend, who is injured, gives him the life vest just because he's freaking out because of the blood. I, like, can't with this character. Like, holy cow, what a weird character to put in this movie, man. I mean, yeah, he's kind of goofy. Like, you can just laugh at this character. Like, he didn't offend me or anything like the other character did that we're going to talk about in a sec. But man, oh man, what a weird character. Now, the character that I hated, the character I wanted to die first, and I wanted her to get the most brutal death ever, is the character of Max. Or they call the CEO of Fun. No, she's not the CEO of Fun. She is, like, one of those characters. She's, like, one of those jerks or whatever in a shark movie. And you're just, like, waiting for this character to die. And I'd say that she does get one of the most brutal deaths in the movie, even though we'll get to the kills a bit later here. But, yeah, anyway, her character really sucks. I'm sorry. I mean, first of all, she is supposed to be, like, this best friend of Sarah, Catherine Newton's character. But then she is the one responsible for leaving her behind with the jellyfish. She is responsible. Okay, what the heck is this? Also, she is literally responsible for one of the characters' deaths, the character of Adrian, who, like, you know, her and Catherine Newton's character are, like, fighting over this map or whatever, and she's like, hey, we need to go this way so we can kill ourselves or whatever, because every decision she makes and every, you know, choice that she recommends to the group is a very risky idea. And, you know, she's just asking to get it, and I really wanted her to die in, like, the worst way ever. But anyway, literally, Adrian's character falls in the water and the shark eats her. Because of Max. It's literally her fault. You are responsible for one of your friend's deaths. What the heck, man? Really pisses me off. You know, and this movie, you know, if it was like the movie intended for her to be like this big jerk or whatever, and she dies in the most brutal way ever, like a lot of movies, I would laugh at that. I wouldn't get upset. But this movie basically tries to give her a redemption arc by being responsible for her friend's death and making all these risky decisions and all that, by killing off her boyfriend and making that such an emotional moment, and then having this like friendship between Sarah and Max, and like you really want to root for them and you want them both to survive. Yeah, no, I wanted Max to be the first one to die, if I'm being completely honest. I just knew from the get-go she was bad news. Really wanted her to die. So anyway, I'm done ranting on her. She's just one of the worst characters ever. Like, she was a despicable character I hated in this movie. And, yeah, I don't know why this movie tried to treat her like she's a good person. She is not, okay? Terrible character. Also, the kills in this movie suck. It's PG-13. This movie should have been rated R. I really hate that shark movies are PG-13 now. You know, like, when it's Jaws, like, PG-13 shark movies can be good. Look at Jaws, okay? Jaws has some really good kills in that movie, and it's PG. I know PG-13 wasn't even a thing then, but still, it's PG. And there's some really freaking good kills in that movie. Also, I mean, look at even Shark Night from 2011. That movie's PG-13, but there's some good kills in that movie. All right, and then here, the kills, like, they just all suck. Other than the one guy who gets, like, you know, keeps hitting rocks and the shark's, like, grabbing him and all that. That was a good sequence. And maybe Max's death when the shark, like, jumps up and grabs her and pulls her under. But even those kills aren't good at all. They're easily the best, but they're still not good. Literally, majority of the kills are just the shark grabs you, pulls you underwater, you're dead. And then you just see a bunch of terrible CGI blood. Man, oh man, the kills were terrible. And that's all I really wanted. If you wanted, like, just a fun, like a mediocre shark movie. Just give me some good kills, man. That's literally the biggest thing I wanted out of this movie. You can have bad characters, just give me some good kills. If you can't even give me good kills, I am not going to enjoy this movie at all. And the kills were terrible. Again, the character decisions, terrible. Yeah. All of that stuff really, really sucked. Also, watch this movie at night, please. I watched this movie during the day yesterday, and I couldn't see a single thing for like 85% of the movie because it's like such dark caves and there's no daylight or anything, so I just can't see what's going on. So please, if you do want to watch this movie, watch it at night, because if you watch it during the day, you won't be able to see a thing that's going on. Like, whenever someone died, I'm like, oh, this person died. Like, I just didn't like it. Okay, so anyway, guys, let's head to the ratings. All right, so I'm going to give The Devil's Mouth a 3 out of 10. This was a really freaking bad movie, one of the worst of the year. You know, it's not as bad as some of the other garbage shark movies that we've gotten. You know, it's not like the worst movie ever. You know, there are some redeeming qualities in this film. But still, you know, I really don't recommend this movie. If you love shark movies, you don't care if it's PG-13 or whatever, and you still want to check it out, you might have a fun time. But I personally didn't like this movie. I do not recommend it. Yeah, so don't check it out at all. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.